Hi, IMC alumni. My name is Jovhanna Tovar. I graduated from tourism management in 2008 from IMC. Currently, I am a cultural trainer and I'm based in Taiwan. Since I am in Taiwan, I thought that I can share with you the best practices that Taiwan has used to mitigate COVID-19. Hopefully, this will give you some idea of the situation here, as well as give you some positive information and optimism. As of today, 2020, 21st of May, there are 441 infected cases and only 7 individuals who died from COVID-19. How did the island respond to the virus? Well, I'm gonna highlight 5 points. The first one is early action. So as we are close to main island China, Taiwanese knew about the virus early end of December, early January, and decided to monitor flights and with the time cancel them and put restrictions on other flights coming from other countries around the region. For example, Japan, South Korea, Hong Kong. And in February, schools and universities started online classes. But work and shops still remain open. But now, kids are already back to school with all the measures necessary. The universities, most of them are having online classes. We didn't have a total lockdown like most of the world. However, social distancing and banning mass gatherings were implemented. My second point is that Taiwan has an epidemiologist as a vice president, experience from SARS, and a lot of discipline. So because the vice president is epidemiologist, he knew how the virus will behave, and together with the experience gained from SARS in 2003, the government knew to give the population the right protocols and preventive measures. As the population received clear information, they follow the restrictions and precautions. So the gathering groups, they wash their hands constantly and disinfected the hands as well. The most important is that they were very educated in wearing the mask. That was really key for prevention. And I have to say that in Taiwan, most of the people are used, even before the COVID hit the region, people were wearing masks when they felt already like with a cold or a little sick. So kind of in the Asian culture, you are used to it. Now, the government can not only deliver sufficient, so we have a shortage of masks in January, but with the time the government makes sure to produce enough masks, and now we can not only produce 20 million of masks per day, but also we are able to donate masks to other countries. It already happened last month, so US and Europe received millions of masks. The third point is transparency in information. The government informed the population about the numbers of infected people, which measures to take, and hold daily press conferences to respond questions from the journalists. The government officials know the number of infected individuals and track them, and as well as where they move, the places, who they were talking to. So they have a huge database. And this actually goes with my next point, which is technology and big data, goes along with it. So first, technology and big data were key for the rigorous detection and strict quarantine. And I'm just gonna talk about it with some examples. So for example, before the airspace was closed, all passengers, especially those coming from countries really hard hit from COVID, the passengers were asked, they were asked their personal information. They needed to go to a 14-day isolation period. Officials were tracking their mobile sign-in, and will come to visit them constantly, actually, and call them constantly. So if they will see any movement outside of the house, the person is fined, and the police will arrive within minutes to their house, making sure that the person will go back to quarantine. For those with non-obligatory isolation, so those were asked to be to actually inform the government or government officials if they will develop symptoms, and they will have access through a QR code or through forms, online forms. So actually, both the passengers and the government will have contact constantly to make sure that they receive information in case they have been in contact with someone else, if they develop symptoms. So in that way, they will avoid community infections. Another example from technology and big data is about the use of the national health insurance cards to track information of each individual. So if you went to the doctor, or if you're in any place where you have to use it, they were asking you if you traveled outside of the island, if you had symptoms. If you develop symptoms, then you will be tested, and also you needed to report where were you the last couple of weeks, and to track the potential infected individuals and to avoid further community infections as well. Another example was the Japanese cruise ship that was around the region. This ship make it to the news, and also actually this cruise visit Taiwan, the northern part of Taiwan. So what the government did was to track all the places and put it in a system, and then later on send a message to every mobile phone in the island with this list of the places the people or the visitors were doing sightseeing or visiting. So most of us will have a link, will open the map and say, at this time or during this time, this day, these people were here, so I was there. If I will develop symptoms, I will have been requested to go to the designated hospitals for COVID-19, and I will have been tested. So the big data was useful for not only tracking, but also for the allocation of masks. So one example about the mask was that the government created a centralized system to distribute the mask. So first, the government distributed to convenience stores that are open 24 hours. Then second, to the pharmacies and drugstores. And then they even created an online system where individuals could order the mask and then pick it up at the convenience stores after work, for example. And they even went further to create vending machines. So you will go there with your e-card, which is the equivalent in Austria for the insurance card here in Taiwan, with your insurance card, and then with your bag, and have a restricted number of masks. So I think right now it's 9 per 2 weeks, so per person. So one person receives nine masks every 2 weeks at the same price. So everybody has access to the mask at the same price. So, and they also created an app for the mobile phones. So if you are in one location and you need mask, you can track which location has available mask and with the number of masks that they have available. So with all of this, they will avoid unnecessary gatherings and conglomerations of people, and even making you go to a place where actually maybe the masks are finished for the day, so you will need to wait another day. They were also as organized to saying, okay, the paired numbers go to the pharmacist this day and the impaired numbers the following day. So a lot of discipline, a lot of organization. My last point is other measures. So at the entrance of the buildings, you always have your temperature checked and also disinfection liquids. So even at homes, here at my place, I have a disinfection disinfection liquid at the entrance. So anyone entering my home is disinfecting the hands, but it's everybody. We were asked to do it, and even at the entrance of my building. So you do it actually 2 times. To sum up, the transparent information, technology, and citizen commitment were key to hold the numbers of infected people very low and keep the economy going as much as possible. I hope this information was informative to you, and keep safe and healthy, and greetings from Taipei. Bye.